So I watched Leave the World Behind while, trying to leave the world behind with some sports enhancers, and I personally thought that it was a laugh-out-loud comedy at first. I mean, 3 needle-drop music montages in the first 10 minutes, Julia Roberts breaking the fourth wall, and this damn Gen Z girl obsessed with whether or not Ross or Rachel will get together. But then it hit me. Holy herd of evil deer wanting to eat my family. This movie has layers, a Shrek amount of layers. And the more I watched it, the more I sat up in my seat, pointed at the screen like some dum-dum, because this might be, this is 2023's best, worst movie, and I love every second of it. There is a ton to break down. I know a lot of y'all want, to know about the ending. We'll be talking about that, of course, but there's like 5 different messages, tons of hidden things. It's a treasure trove of great stuff. So slap that subscribe button so I can afford more Cheetos and Pop-Tarts, and let's get into this beautiful mess. A quick overview of the plot. Leave the World Behind is based on the 2020 novel by the same name, which follows this well-to-do white family of the Stanfords, Amanda, Clay, Rose, Archie, as they plan a spontaneous weekend getaway in Long Island. Terror sets in when all of their tablets, cell phones, and Wi-Fi go out, and they have to talk to each other. No! However, any white woman's worst fears happen when not only do black people show up to their house, but they're also rich. Wait. The owners of the house, G.H. Scott and his daughter Ruth, return home because of strange blackouts in the city and felt it would be much safer in the suburbs. The two families basically walk on eggshells, avoiding the obvious racial differences along the way with the growing concerns of the unknown. Why is the internet out? What's the deal with the emergency alert? The deer, well, they're acting strange. Again, will Ross and Rachel end up together? Why is someone blasting Skrillex in 2023 and this mofo's teeth are falling out? Remember, kids, drink milk. Now, all of this craziness leads to them going to GH's contractor neighbor looking for medicine, but after a quick conversation, GH's biggest fears are confirmed. Earlier in the movie, he disclosed a story about one of his financial clients dealing in defense contracts, moving large sums of money out of nowhere, with GH joking about him meeting with his evil cabal of pals that run the world. Usually reciprocated with laughter, from his client. All he received, though, was a cold, calm response of "take care of yourself." Obviously a little freaky, as he remembers one of the military operations that scared the bejesus out of this same client. It was said to be the most effective and efficient way to destabilize a country in 3 simple steps. First is isolation, designed to, quote, make the target deaf and dumb. Second is synchronized chaos, which is characterized by the synchronized attacks and misinformation. And third is a coup d'etat, overthrowing the government, aka civil war. If the target country was dysfunctional enough, you sit back, make some poppycorn, and watch as the world burns, baby. Now, all of this is simply a theory from GH and coincides with the way that the film is structured in 5 different parts. Part 1 is the house, the new location for these families to coexist. Part 2 is the curve, with GH saying that he could predict future moments in the market by looking at the curve, of which he had a suspicion something odd was happening. The next 3 parts are essentially the theoretical 3-step operation at work. Part 3, the noise, which is the cyber attack knocking out all of the communication and causing ailments like the son's teeth falling out. Part 4 is the flood, the oversaturation of misinformation, aka the red flyers, that causes people to speculate and begin to act irrationally because of fear. I mean, COVID was a pretty close example of this. And part 5 is the last one, meaning civil war will take over, causing only the last ones to remain, but also, as we'll get into later, is cheekily the name of the Friends finale episode Rose wants to finally watch so badly. Surprisingly, this idea or plan isn't something new. This is straight up an idea, the same idea from episode 22 of The Twilight Zone, titled "The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street." Aliens come to Earth, mess with people's lives, specifically their electronic devices, and chaos erupts almost immediately, with the aliens now knowing how to take over our planet. Same series of events, just brought into the 21st century. Everything comes to a close with Amanda and Ruth holding hands as they witness New York City slowly collapsing in on itself with explosions, gunshots, and sirens, all like GH had theorized. The dysfunctional nature of the United States was just enough for the Civil War to happen on its own. Do we have a concrete answer to who or what is behind these attacks? Unfortunately, no. Throughout the film, many people speculate, think of the worst, but like Amanda says to Ruth, the truth is much scarier. No one is in charge. No one is behind this. It's just happening, and that's the scariest thing. We all live this lie, almost wearing masks to hide our true selves from the shit and madness of this world. Just like one of Alan Moore's quotes that is briefly mentioned, the main thing that I learned about conspiracy theory is that the conspiracy theorists believe in a conspiracy because that is more comforting. The truth of the world is that it is actually chaotic. The truth is that it is not the Illuminati or the Jewish banking conspiracy or the gray alien theory. The truth is far more frightening. Nobody is in control. The world is rudderless. Rudderless like an oil tanker ruining your sandwiches on a sandy beach day. We're all searching for an answer, the meaning to life. Some one answer fits all, but that does not exist. It's only an imaginary idea. The truth is no one knows. As we're taken over to the Thorns home, that was briefly mentioned by Danny to have a fallout bunker, as Rose is seen in the house eating loads of junk food, eventually finding the underground bunker, a stockpile of food, an emergency alert system confirming a rogue force is taking over the United States, with radiation leaks reported, but more importantly, a DVD collection including the last season of Friends. She quickly puts in the disc, selects the last episode, cleverly titled The Last One, as she's bathed in the blue light of the television and the pure nostalgia of the Friends theme song. You're sitting there confused, maybe angry, because what was that? That wasn't an ending. Show me what happened. Did they survive? Did Rose tell them about the bunker? What is happening? At this point, it's all up for interpretation. Personally, I think that everyone made it to the bunker, watched more 90s sitcoms, and lived happily ever after. But believe me, there is way more in Leave the World Behind that is commenting on a whole bevy of things. Some heavy-handed things, some subtle differences to show the chaos of the situation. The ending really takes into account everything we've talked about, as Rose listens to the man in the flood story, picks up all of the signs that have been going on and needs to change. She's tired of waiting, using her different generational thinking to find her way over to the Thorns house. Here, she shuts out the dangers of the world, symbolized by the red door, and instead takes safety in the blue-tinted kitchen, snacking on comfort food. She is no longer worried of the outside unknowns, which is ironically symbolized by the freedom from want picture hanging behind her, with this picture basically meaning that she is free from wants. She has everything she needs, food, clothing, shelter, and family, who we assume will join her later. It's both poetic and honestly kind of fucked up. Adding to the safety aspect is the name Rose and her being in the Thorns home. The thorns of a rose bush protect it from dangers. They are prickly, much like we can assume that the actual thorns were prickly, as in not nice people, as inferred by all of the racially stereotypical food items in their bunker. The Thorns' home is protecting the Rose and the little girl Rose, which symbolizes beauty and love, something that will hopefully be formed in the bunker when everyone joins her, and that's all they need. All you need is love. Hope begins in the dark, literally telling us that the bunker will keep them safe and hope for the future after all of this chaos finishes. The ending Friends theme song only adds to this and Rose's search for escapism, as we mentioned earlier. Sure, it's said to be nostalgic for a time that never existed, but Esmail said, quote, "In moments of crisis, when we've lost sight of our common humanity, when we feel isolated, we do want to escape to comfort." And for Rose, I thought her journey wouldn't be complete until she watched the final episode of her favorite show. The ending of Leave the World Behind is literally in the lyrics of the Friends theme song. Life isn't what you expected it to be. None of this is what we thought would be happening. And this is true for almost everyone. Heck, I'm from a place where if you aren't married with 3 kids by 25, people look at you weird. I never thought I'd be sitting in a basement reading a script about a movie where Julia Roberts dances like Elaine from Seinfeld, but fuck me, that's what's happening. I think it's the friends we make along the way media will be there for us to not only create the escapism we need and want, but also to inform us, to translate the horrors and events of the world into a digestible little format that is easier to understand and again digest, which may or may not be what Leave the World Behind is subtly or heavy-handedly hinting. Anyway, that is way too much on a movie that's about Tesla's malfunctioning and the US reverting back to the wild, wild west. So what did you think? What did you like? What any sort of theories or meaning or small things that you picked up that we maybe missed in this obnoxiously long breakdown of the movie? Drop everything in the comments below and please subscribe. It really helps out the channel and motivates me to make more videos like this. And if you haven't, check out all of my other social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and new Retro Rewind trailer in the description. So enjoy your day, week, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye, everyone.